Here we go then. West on the left, Piastri on the right as we come to 5 red lights in Sin City. Lights out and away we go. A good start from Oscar Piastri, a better one from Verstappen in behind. West had a really poor start and bogged down slightly and goes wide and deep. West in the background going wide and deep, and he's gone straight on at turn 1, and that's going to be huge in the World Championship. Verstappen up to second then, Piastri following all the way through, and well, it's not been a good getaway at all for the Ferrari and for Lewis Hamilton in the background too. He's been poorly bogged down already. If we have a look down, Albon side by side to West, last of the late breakers, and I think West is really struggling already. Cold tyres coming into this one. They were held on the grid for a while, but West down in P7 at the moment as we come through towards the MSG sphere. He'll keep keeping a nice look on the drivers as they come through. And now up down towards Sands we go, all the way to the strip. And well, it's been a fantastic getaway from Oscar Piastri, who leads Verstappen in behind. And well, the two of them are breaking away already from George Russell. And now the strip then, for the first time, the Las Vegas Boulevard, the world famous strip. All the way they come, and down we go. Oscar Piastri will be having Max Verstappen all the way in his mirrors now, coming down towards turn number 15 on the racetrack. Verstappen's going to make the pass. Down the inside he goes, and down towards turn 15 we go. Verstappen tries to press Piastri all the way to the wall, and I think it's worked out perfectly for him. West has gone back up to 4th in the meantime, but Oscar Piastri falls back down to P2, but will have a run back of Verstappen as he comes onto the main straight again. Down the main straight we go again, and well, Verstappen also close to the wall. And it guts ahead. Piastri, well, a lap number 1 of 25 that has been all over the place. West in 4th then. Sorry, I got it wrong. It was not Russell, it was Antonelli who's up in P3 at the minute. A fantastic getaway from the youngster as well. Sainz in P5, Tsunoda P6, Russell 7th, Albon 8th, Hayes in 9th, and Pierce in 10th. Well, Sonny Hayes crashed here last year at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Sent it into the barriers, and well, Piastri and Verstappen following through as he come through the sphere section on towards Sands Avenue. We'll ride on board of Max Verstappen now as we come down the main straight. Come down the back straight past the Venetian Expo Centre, and then all the way a long sweeping left-hander. Well, Lando Norris got it wrong at the opening race in 2023. Past the Winners Plaza. Past Palazzo all the way down towards Caesar's Palace, and well, Verstappen this time. DRS is going to be open in a second, and I think, there we go, the DRS open for Max Verstappen. He's going to be gaining, ever so closer, up towards the braking zone we go. Verstappen not quite close enough this time, and well, Antonelli and West, I think, behind, and West has got through, and goes a little bit deep, but he manages to hold it on. Well, your championship leader, Lewis Hamilton, down in 14th now at the moment, sorry. And he's side by side with Lando Norris, who's all the way, and well, out of the championship hunt in this year's event, but side by side with Lewis Hamilton all the way out the last corner, and he's going to be all the way towards, and I think Hamilton might have just got it done and dusted into turn 1. He has, and well, those medium tyres. Teams have had 2 races here now already in its history, and I think they're enjoying here for a 3rd time. They know what it's going to be like. It's cold in Las Vegas, and Antonelli and Piastri and Verstappen, sorry, side by side up towards the MSG sphere again. Piastri battling. Look at the sphere. He's loving this. And he's watching the action all the way. Piastri, though, up to P1 again. And West, all the while, these two back at the front. West is slowly looming in the background, looking to take the championship lead off Lewis Hamilton today. But Piastri and Verstappen need big points, as after today, there's only 58 left before Qatar and Abu Dhabi. When we head to the Middle East for one last time this season, I think there's a bollard going flying in the background. I think West might have clipped it a little bit. Keep an eye for damage then. But Piastri down the strip once more. And well, West is now going to be in the DRS range of Max Verstappen. So this is going to be interesting. Coming up towards turn 15 on the racetrack, the long left-hander, one of the heaviest braking zones on the calendar. West does close up quite nicely, but Piastri, well, we're keeping an eye. And I think West went deep. Did he go deep? I think he went a bit deep going into turn 15, and he got it all wrong. And well, coming down, back down towards the main straight we go. Through the last corner, Antonelli back up into P3 then. And Antonelli, well, tries to defend the inside, but West will swoop right around the outside and goes a bit deep. Again, he's not enjoying those tyres, is he? Cold, cold night in Las Vegas. He's had it before in support races, but well, West and Antonelli, and West will try having a sniff down the inside, but not quite to be. Carlos Sainz up to P5 as well. By the way, Hayes up to 6th, Russell, Tsunoda, Albon and Pierce still in the top 10, and well, Antonelli, I think he's enjoying being as high up as he has. He's not had a podium yet this season. And West currently in P4 then. Verstappen ever closer though to the lead. We're going to have a look through as we come on the last corner for the MS out of Sands and on towards the Las Vegas Boulevard again. Verstappen closing in on Oscar Piastri. He's going to have DRS, using all the battery he can. As we come up towards, and Oscar Piastri might even have him before the DRS zone here. No DRS open. Piastri pushes him all the way to the wall. But Verstappen, this will be a piece of cake for him. Down the inside he goes into turn 15. And nice and easy for the Dutch four-time world champion. West up to P3 as well with that. And well, Verstappen, he needs some big points here today, and Verstappen's holding out to Piastri here as we come out the last corner. And very, very nicely indeed. I expect these two to be battling. Antonelli and West are going side by side, going towards turn 1. I think they were pushing each other right all the way to the wall. The two rookies this year, and West is trying all the way to the outside, but not quite to V. Antonelli, though, holds third position for the time being. Piastri's going to have another go at Max Verstappen in the DRS zone. Up towards the MSG sphere we go off Koval Lane. And now Piastri pushed all the way to the wall. Verstappen's going to try and hold it in. As we come all the way around we go. And Piastri holding the inside potentially. Yes, there we go. The McLaren gets ahead of Max Verstappen. And Lando Norris is really struggling, his teammate at the minute. Down in 14th. Hamilton up to 11th. In the other Scarlet Ferrari. But Verstappen's going to have another chance again. Remember, Piastri, diamonds aren't forever. Here at Las Vegas, you could make one overtake, but then you might be passed a second later. And well, Antonelli has dropped out the gap to West in the DRS range, and now Max Verstappen will be the only driver in the top 4, or top 6 actually, with DRS. And now he'll pull to the right-hand side, and Verstappen, this will be a piece of cake. Nice and easy move done. Piastri wants to use all the battery he can, but not quite to be. Max Verstappen. Oh, Verstappen went deep. He locked up, I think. And Verstappen, that's a disaster for Max Verstappen. And well, that it's one of the heaviest braking zones on the calendar. You can get it wrong. It has happened before for a lot of these drivers on the grid, especially the ones that have raced here a couple of times before. Even in practice, they were struggling. And well, this has brought West right into play now. He's within a second, or just dropping out of a second. Well, I'm not sure he'll have DRS here, but Piastri is going to be under pressure from Max Verstappen again. But it might be Verstappen's turn to maybe have a go off Koval Lane. No, wiser to it. Might as well stay on the back and try and take him into the strip. Hamilton then up into the top 10 in the background. Now, the chance of a safety car can be quite high here. Lando Norris has been there in the past, and West going right close to the wall in the background. A crash from Lando Norris in 2023 brought out a safety car. Last year, I believe it was turn 1 caused an issue that brought out a safety car. Lap 6 of 25 here. We're not yet seeing some pit stops, so I think it's going to be a one stop for a lot of these drivers today. A lot of straights, not a lot of corners that take the tyre life out of view. And well, West in the background with DRS now on Max Verstappen, 5 tenths behind. Are we going to start to see a move maybe from the rookie? But McLaren, Red Bull, Ferrari is your early top 3, and they're all championship contenders. Now, if Hamilton was to stay in the exact same position, P10 at the minute, he would, and Verstappen's under defend from West, and well, West Oh, and Verstappen gets it almost wrong. But West hurled out brilliantly. But West is still trying to put the pressure on Max Verstappen. And now, all the while, Oscar Piastri is slowly breaking away with the pressure that West is putting on Verstappen. He's going to look towards the outside and then towards the inside. And no, I don't think it's going to happen there. So the DRS closed under the braking. Of course, Jack Doohan found out in Suzuka practice this year at the Japanese Grand Prix. What happens when you don't close the DRS when you go into a corner? Back end steps out and you're into a massive multi-million-pound crash. So Verstappen, well within range of Oscar Piastri here. West behind him is going to try and maybe get a run on Max Verstappen. You might even have it before the DRS zone here. And West, right to the outside we go. Detection point there. And then here comes the DRS zone. West and Verstappen. Verstappen's not even got it on Piastri. So West's going to sail through, potentially, unless Verstappen uses all the battery available to him. But Verstappen holds out, pushes him to the outside. And, well, good defence from Max Verstappen. But he's probably not going to not have enough battery to go all the way down towards turn 1. West pulls to the inside of the last corner. And he's still not there. I think he touched the back of him as well. But West not quite to be this time. Maybe diving to the inside. And Verstappen will try and get the switch back. And he does. P2 held by Max Verstappen. 2 defences from the 4-time world champion. And championship rival West. And oh, he smacked the wall in the back there as well. I think he's come off clean. But, well, that might just about be that. Let's have a check in on our championship leader, Lewis Hamilton. 9th at the minute and defending from Esteban Ocon in the foreground as well. You can see him and Albon as well trying to slowly creep into the top 10. We haven't seen much of Haas this year. And a man we really want to see points from as well in the Sauber is Gabriel Bortoleto before he becomes the Audi driver next year. The F1 Fantasy Series next year I think will be quite exciting as we go into another season. But West now on the back of Max Verstappen and flying through. But Verstappen is defending really nicely, and well, West will have DRS now, and this could be all over as we come down towards turn 15 on the racetrack again. Off the Las Vegas strip we come, and West to the inside, last the late breakers on Max Verstappen, goes a little bit deep. Verstappen's going to try and hold out and hold in, and well, Verstappen fighting his way past and forward, side by side, all the way down towards the main straight we come in the last corner. Verstappen holding the inside and having to maybe take a bit more curve than he liked. West trying to hold out, last the late breakers into turn 1, and West gets the move done very, very nicely, but goes deep again. Very, very deep. And well, that is not how you want it to be. Piastri is slowly streaking away. And well, get a comfortable gap, and well, Piastri will be very, very happy with that. West trying the inside, barges Verstappen out of the way, and well, that's not going to go down well with the Red Bull team at all. I think Laura Mekies might be on the radios in a minute to the stewards. That's very, very naughty. A bit of a late one as well from West. And all the while, Kimi Antonelli in the background in 4th is starting to come up through the field. And well, West, awkward in the background from West. I don't know what happened there. But lap 9 of 25, we're almost 40% of the way through this race. And Max Verstappen is having to defend for his life here. And he knows how much he would want some championship points. If you want to know what the current standings is in the championship, Lewis Hamilton 342 to West 336. And now Max Verstappen on 314, Piastri to 317. But knows how much a win could be. And West to the inside, Verstappen trying to push him. And does keep the move, but West and Verstappen are going nose to tail all the way through. And I think this is going to be nice and easy from West. And now to the inside he goes again. West tries it and Verstappen pushed all the way. That's surely going to be it. And Piastri, oh, and well, Piastri is really starting to make gains on this battle here. This is a brilliant battle between Verstappen and West. They've been fighting all season long. Verstappen's gone a bit, taking a normal line. West's trying to go interesting to the inside. And dummies to the outside, but Verstappen lost on the brakes again. And these two are just fighting nose to tail all race long. Well, after a poor start from West, you know how it's going to be. This is absolutely brilliant Formula 1 racing from these two. Antonelli, though, at a second now. Can you try and get in that gap and maybe try it? West looking towards the inside, coming towards the strip, and not quite to be again. But these two battling nose to tail, and they know a World Championship's at stake. 22 points separates them at the moment, but right, 4/10 on track at the moment. And look at this, DRS again from West, and maybe Verstappen's going to try, and well, West trying to dummy him this time again, and pushes Verstappen. Well, he's going to try and make Verstappen go long. He's not trying to force him into a mistake. He's made a mistake already. But Max, he's been relentless, and West is going to try now, side by side, all the way down towards the main straight again. These two have been battling all race long, wheel to wheel, a little bit of contact for good measure, and West trying the inside again, pushes him all the way out, and well, West finally has P2, and he's got to be able to hold it in Koval Lane, remember, but he's finally got it, and maybe he might be able to chase down Oscar Piastri for good measure. Max Verstappen having a look and having a sniff, but not quite to be again. And West is really trying this. Antonelli's now on the back of these two. How much time they've wasted, and well, Verstappen dives to the inside by the sphere, and now turns 7 and 8. Here we go. Verstappen holds out. I think there's a bit of contact actually between the two of them, and a bit of body weight and flying. West has been bouncing off the walls all day long, and Antonelli, in the meanwhile, has maybe been rubbing his hands together in the cockpit, thinking maybe this might be my moment to try and get a podium, back on the podium steps. West to the inside towards the sphere, towards the strip we go again, and well, Verstappen forces him out, and Antonelli now tucks in behind to try and get the slipstream, and maybe Kimi Antonelli, he's right on the gearbox of West, and maybe he's trying to send it all the way down. DRS will be open in a moment for the rookie, and he's being pushed off and away. West to the outside is going to be free wide all the way down towards turn 15, and Kimi Antonelli is going to be at the foreground of it. The three of them staying side by side all the way together, and Antonelli and Verstappen, West has to back out, but Antonelli back in the podium spots. And at the meanwhile, look at Lewis Hamilton in the background too. West and Verstappen pit, and so does Sonny Hayes at the same time, and George Russell and Piastri's in the box. He's come to take away those medium tyres. Hard tyres on for Piastri. Let's see how Verstappen and West do. It's quick from the Red Bulls, slower from the Ferraris. And well, Hayes at the end of the pits. Let's see how the APX GP team do. Fast from the APX GP crews as well. And well, he gets out and ahead of George Russell too. And Oliver Bemmer might split the two of them here. Not quite to be there. But West and Verstappen, well, second, 1.7 seconds the gap now between the two of them. And so, what do you reckon? Lewis Hamilton then, and this might be his time to come in for the pits as well, and to make a dive into the pit lane. But Oscar Piastri in behind, and I think he must be enjoying this as well, but Yuki Tsunoda could do his teammate Max Verstappen a huge favour and try and back Piastri up into the traffic as well, and give him a bit more time, but I don't think it's going to happen here. Piastri will be ducking, weaving and diving all the way towards, all the way down the Las Vegas strip we go. To the outside, Piastri tries, and Tsunoda's going to push him all the way up to the wall, and that's tight, very, very tight, but Oscar Piastri makes his way up to P3, a net P1 at the moment, if they're not going to make their stops. But Lewis Hamilton then, and I think Antonelli is diving towards the pits. He is, and so is Lewis Hamilton. Let's have a look and see how their moves. Now, this extra lap on the faster medium tyre has helped them then Piastri swings by and solos past all the way. Hard tyres for Lewis Hamilton, and it's a slow stop for Ferrari, and that's not going to help him. It's a very slow stop for Ferrari. And well, you can see that's George Russell and Sonny Hayes going up ahead as well. And Antonelli has been jumped by Sonny Hayes as well in the pits. But Lewis Hamilton comes out into 8th, our championship leader. Will he hold it today? But Max Verstappen going past Carlos Sainz, and now he's got a nice bit of buffer to try and break. I think Sainz isn't stopped yet. I'm pretty sure Carlos Sainz has not stopped yet on those mediums. I'd be surprised if he can go to the end on those, but well, Carlos Sainz still to pit, and I think he's enjoying this, being in the middle of the title scrap. Well, let's ride on board with Sonny Hayes. We haven't spoken much about Sonny Hayes this year. He's been having an interesting season, in with the points sometimes, but also battling maybe into being in the middle of the Drivers' Championship. And maybe this season it could be his year. Carlos Sainz in the background. He's right on the back of West and maybe trying to make a move on West too. That Ferrari engine is going to be quick, and it is going to be very, very quick. And oh, West goes very deep. West goes very, very deep going into turn 15, and Sainz is handed back the position straight away. And that will be music to Max Verstappen's ears from GP on the radio. Marvellous stuff from Carlos Sainz as well, trying to put West under pressure in the background. A bit of slide as well out the back of turn 1, but not quite to be. Well, if you look now, Mercedes have an old adversary at the back, or an old friend. Let's have a ride on board of George Russell, and well, Kimi Antonelli getting ever so closer. Well, I'm pretty sure he won't be very happy as well. George Russell has jumped him in the pits. This to be, and I love the fact I've got the sphere at the minute in there with his usual yellow and red helmet on. A couple of years ago it was blue, but well, Kimi Antonelli is enjoying his first season in Formula 1, and I'm sure next year we're going to see him right at the forefront of the field with these new 2026 regs. I'm very, very excited to bring these two F1 Fantasy Series to you again next year. And Lewis Hamilton in the background now is on his replacement at Mercedes, and straight through he goes. DRS open for both. George Russell's not going to have anything, and well, there is someone, and Carlos Sainz is blown up in the middle here. There's going to be a yellow flag, no overtaking. Antonelli's not quite listening to that, but Carlos Sainz, that's a huge moment for him. He was running so well in the Williams, and that's a huge, huge shame for Carlos Sainz, the Spaniard, the smooth operator. He's parked up, and I don't know where he's parked up. He's parked him in quite right by the pit entry. Can you... Oh, you might not be able to push that back. So we will see for Carlos Sainz in a minute how that deals. And Lando Norris also out. We didn't see him go a moment ago. But Lando Norris then, his day gets a lot worse. And well, Oscar Piastri has been the lead McLaren this season. Mark Webber said in the press the other week he was very pleased with how Oscar's been progressing this season in the McLarens. And he also added not bad for a number 2 driver, which you remember the 2010 British Grand Prix? You remember when Mark Webber won it? He said not bad for a number 2 driver, and I think that was echoing words for his fellow Australian. But Verstappen then, 1.4 seconds ahead of West now. And Sonny Hayes in 4th at the moment. He's loving life. But the battle at the minute is going to be with Antonelli, Russell and Hamilton. Because Antonelli and Russell side by side once more. And West is going to be... Oh, sorry, Hamilton's going to be in the mix too. 3 wide, down towards turn 15 we go. Lewis Hamilton's going to dive and maybe get 2 for the price of 1. Mercedes trumped by Ferrari potentially here, and yes, Hamilton does jump up into P5, and that's a whole host of points that he'll need for his championship battle. Westie and Verstappen have beat of all, and Westie's going deep again. I think he's really struggling for grip down in turn 1. And Ferrari aren't really helping him with it either. Well, don't forget, we've got... Oh, and West actually, he's coming back at Verstappen again. He's going to be another try. Verstappen's going to try and be pushed all the way to the outside, and he does hold it out. Very nicely done from Max Verstappen. And well, West is going to be loving life at this, at the top here. Remember, we are still yet to see a safety car in this race, but it could change everything. Could absolutely change everything in this race. If we do get a safety car, keep an eye on the leaders, because this could be getting them off the hard tyres, putting them on the soft potentially. And well, maybe we might see... Well, West is going hunting and searching after Oscar Piastri. You can even see him in the distance too. And West has already pulled out a gap of 2 seconds on Max Verstappen since the MSG Sphere. So something's clicked with that Ferrari and finally found a mode. But well, Verstappen's either going slowly, but we'll have to see. But Hamilton and Russell and Antonelli all battling still, and Antonelli falls back behind George Russell once more. And well, Fernando Alonso also in 9th for the minute. He's been doing really well. He's picked up a bit of form, Fernando, in recent years. Maybe Aston Martin under Adrian Newey next year might really start to feel that there could be a bit of excitement coming their way. Some race victories potentially. Alonso's in a perfect position too with Adrian Newey. He's been involved in many Aston Martin projects in the past, especially when the partner of Red Bull, the Valkyrie. It's a very famous car. It looks absolutely incredible. And they took it into the World Endurance Championship hypercar program. Very exciting to see that too. And I think that V12 sounds amazing. Well then, Lewis Hamilton is creeping up towards the top 4 now. Sonny Hayes is maybe starting to feel the pressure in the Apex GP. And well, he's been doing absolutely brilliantly today. One of his home races, of course, one of 3 for the American veteran. Almost called him a rookie, but well, his experience in Formula 1 is understated. Raced with Schumacher, Senna. But he is truly a veteran. And 1 race win to his name as well in Formula 1. It's true proof that age is just a number in Formula 1. We have 3 over 40s on the grid. 1 or 2 of them are here. Hamilton and Hayes, and also Fernando Alonso too. A lot of people by now would have probably retired, especially in the 2010s. But here comes Lewis Hamilton to the outside on Sonny Hayes, and the Ferrari passes the Apex GP with ease. And now Lewis Hamilton is up into 4th place, and this will really bring the title close to not just a battle, but a really, really close skirmish. 5.9 seconds the gap between Hamilton and Verstappen. Hamilton, West is actually catching Piastri. He's caught by 2 seconds in the past few laps. But Oscar Piastri, I don't think will be feeling the pressure, because he's got to catch him at a rate of, I think it's about 1.2 seconds a lap, if my maths correct. Probably 1.2 seconds a lap for West to catch Oscar Piastri. So he's probably in a safe position unless he doesn't drop off now. But remember, we still could have anything. Anything could still happen here in Vegas. Here tonight, when Oscar Piastri will still be feeling maybe there might be a chance of a victory and him to catch back up in the standings. He knows how much it would be brilliant to win a first world title and actually be the first McLaren world champion since Lewis Hamilton. in 2008 was McLaren were Constructors Champions in Abu Dhabi last year. A close fought battle with Ferrari. Ferrari weren't really in it until the last few races. Red Bull dropped out even though Max Verstappen was doing his utmost best to stay in the race. Of course, next year, keep an eye. Cadillac will rejoin the forces again. And Oscar Piastri sailing through down the strip once more. And Hamilton has caught a second on Max Verstappen in the past couple of laps. So Hamilton might be still vying for a podium here. But West in the other Ferrari, and that looks absolutely, well, scarlet Ferrari under these incredible lights. Speed, Antonelli and Russell passed each other again, and well, we missed that overtake, but Antonelli, I think it pretty much showed us he came through. Kimi Antonelli then up to P6. And well, that gap between Hayes and Antonelli it's holding, but it won't be there for long. Well, let's have a look then towards Lewis Hamilton then as he tries to catch Max Verstappen. 4.3 seconds the gap. Also his retirement in Mexico and then an interesting race last time out in Brazil. But the championship hunt for Lewis Hamilton, his hunt for an 8th, could stretch all the way to Abu Dhabi. Might we start to see the pressure get to some of these drivers? Piastri and West, 5.3 seconds the gap now, and it is closing at a very, very quick rate. So, might we see some last lap passes for the lead? And we could see, if there was to be a safety car now, there would be time for 2 racing laps with the field all bunched up together. It is very possible this could really stretch into. And oh, Russell, that was Antonelli. Sorry, Antonelli spun round, and I think is this going to be? I think this could be a safety car because he's parked right in the middle. He's ghosted at the minute as he would with the game, but well, Kimi Antonelli is doing a bit of an Austin Powers in the middle of the. At the end of the Las Vegas Strip, we have a full safety car. Full safety car then. Wow, this is going to bunch up the entire field. We're probably going to get 2 laps of racing here. But the top 4 in the championship, Hamilton, West, Verstappen and Piastri, are going to all be bunched up together. For 2 laps of racing for a shootout down the Las Vegas Strip then. So I don't know where the safety car is at the minute. We will have to see. There, it's come out of the pit lane 100%, but I don't know exactly where it is at the moment. There, it's parked on the edge of Koval Lane. So Piastri will pick up the safety car in a minute, but it depends. Are we going to see some boxing for softs? Because if you're going to try and win a race, and West is warming up behind him, warming up the tyres behind, the pit stop loss here in Las Vegas is about 15 seconds. So, does West risk it and go onto some fresh softs for the finale? These final 2 laps of the Grand Prix. Yes, he is. He is boxing. Okay. Verstappen, is he going to do the same thing? We're going to have to watch and see if Verstappen does come out and do the same thing. I think Verstappen staying out. Verstappen stays out. Hamilton staying out as well. So, and it's a slow stop from Ferrari. It's a very slow stop. And that is going to put him in behind. And where is Sonny Hayes? I think this might put him behind Hayes. So is this a bit of risk too far for West? So he's dropped from 2nd all the way to 5th. But he's going to be on some fresh soft tyres for 2 laps of racing. We have to see if Piastri does pick up the safety car. I can see the... Yes, there he goes. Piastri has picked up the safety car. Going past the sphere. And, well, might we see an absolute incredible shootout for the last 5 laps. The rookie then, on soft tyres. The experienced 7-time world champion fighting his way through the field and has a golden chance to maybe take victory here today. The reigning champion on hard tyres, dropped off a bit, but has a golden opportunity now to try and take the championship to Piastri. And the race leader trying to hold on in one of his best opportunities to win a world championship yet. Oscar Piastri is almost there. But he has to hold on just a few more laps. This is a nightmare situation too for Piastri, because it looked like he was actually going to get to the end, but not to be. Well, as we come back onto towards the main straight again, who do we think could take this one? Maybe even Sonny Hayes might have this as well. There's every chance that Sonny Hayes could have it too, and I think, well, West had to dive out of the slipstream there of the APX GP. But this could also spell disaster for Sonny Hayes, because Russell and Tsunoda behind him, and Tsunoda actually he's gone under the radar today, to be honest. But Kimi Antonelli has dropped down to 17th. We'll find out where he is at the minute. And, well, there he is now. An awful, awful day for Kimi Antonelli. And, well, that Mercedes, you must feel sorry for him. And, well, as we come through then, the MSG sphere, I have a funny feeling we're going to go green at the end of this lap. So, keep an eye on the main field. There's going to be a lot going on, especially as we come onto Koval Lane for the first time. Remember, no DRS this first lap of racing. Green light racing. My can of Coke. Luckily it's empty. Oscar Piastri then. Max Verstappen, Hamilton, Hayes, West, your top 5. George Russell could also be in the mix for a potential race win here as well. But how have you looked after your tyres? How are you ready for 2 laps of racing here in Las Vegas? One last roll of the dice from all 5 of these drivers at the top here. And 4 championship contenders too. Piastri's backing them up. And backing him up he shall, as we come through the final few corners off the strip. We go. Piastri can see the safety car peeling off. But when's he going to gun it? And he's speeding up ever so slightly. There we go. And now we're back underway and back racing in Las Vegas once more. West trying to go down the inside on Sonny Hayes already. And maybe having a look on Lewis Hamilton too. Down the inside we go. The soft tyres warming up perfectly for West. And now he's going to have a go at his 7-time World Championship teammate. West drives to the inside, he can. And Hamilton is pushed all the way out. And well, West now can go and challenge the leaders. Sonny Hayes is going to have a go at Lewis Hamilton too in the background. And now Hamilton holding the inside he goes. And the American's really going to try it and hold out all the way through. Max Verstappen might feel that he's going to be now next under pressure from West. And this could be a huge, huge moment in the World Championship. West still holding on the back of Max Verstappen. Fresh soft tyres, and now the hunters become the hunted. West side by side with Max Verstappen. To the outside he goes, all the way round, and well, Max is huge defence from the two of them, and well, this could be it. Onto the strip section we go once more. Down Las Vegas Boulevard for the penultimate time. West pulls to the right hand side, and Max Verstappen is going to be history in the eyes of West, and now he can set his sights on Oscar Piastri. Looking down the order then, Verstappen's going to come back at West. It's not over yet. Down towards the strip, end of the strip we go, and Verstappen is really starting to feel it. The pressure from West on the back, and now Piastri might have a look. If he can stay out of a second, he'll be fine. But West now, down towards turn 1, and on the main straight he goes, gets the move done. Lewis Hamilton might also have a look down towards the inside. This would be a nightmare scenario for Max Verstappen if Hamilton was to also catch him, because it would mean that his championship lead extends further over Max Verstappen. West then will be looking towards Oscar Piastri. What a finale, what a last lap we're going to have here. Now West, if he's smart, he'll use all the way down towards the Las Vegas Boulevard again. He'll wait and wait and wait for the right moment, for the right chance. Oscar Piastri will have to defend for his life. The most defending he'll probably have to do in his career. Oscar Piastri is half a lap away from a race win, unless West has anything to say about it. All four are going to have DRS all the way going down the straight. Sonny Hayes is holding out in 5th at the minute, but West is right on the gearbox of Oscar Piastri now. Here we go, down the strip we go one last time. West is going to pull all the way to the inside, potentially. DRS coming up then for the race leaders. Lewis Hamilton might have a go at Max Verstappen in the background, but this is for the race lead. West to the inside and gets the move done. Oscar Piastri is going to feel it. It's a huge sting in the World Championship battle, but West is going to come across the line, and he's going to gun it all the way down the main straight for the last time. West wins in Las Vegas, and what a brilliant end to the race that is. Hamilton rounds out the podium, and Oscar Piastri, he led from start to finish, but he's come home in second. West wins in Las Vegas. A fantastic day for Elliott West then in the Ferrari, a fantastic day for the team too. A 4th win of the season, and well, it means he takes the championship lead. Looking at the top 3 then, Piastri in 2nd, Hamilton in 3rd after another last lap pass. I think the Ferraris like to leave it late in this race. So looking towards the top 10 then, Verstappen in 4th, Hayes in 5th, a fantastic 5th for the American in his home Grand Prix, Russell in 6th, Albon in 7th, Alonso in 8th, creeping into the top 10 for the first time in the championship too. Pierce in the 2nd Apex GP car finishes 9th, and Albon in 10th. Looking at the championship then, well, Max Verstappen drops a bit further off the championship lead. West 361, Hamilton 4 points behind. Piastri it even closer maybe completing a comeback, but we'll have to see in Qatar. Norris, Russell, Tsunoda, Albon, Antonelli and Alonso round out the top 10, but that could all change when we next go to Qatar.